on the circle. That video was on my old deleted channel. I had it archived. I decided to re-upload it because it's a video that everybody needs to see. And there's a reason I re-uploaded it today. Because while everybody was sleeping, and I say that in the sense not overnight, but while everybody's going through all this stuff yesterday, the stuff they talk about the day before, it's all the same media distraction crap, right? About Trump, about the government shutdown, which I covered, talking about how they're just trying to scare everybody into a government shutdown. Government will never really shut down. It's run by the shadow government. The people in power are all just part of the show, folks. But the reason that I bring this up is because yesterday, quietly, very quietly, the Senate passed a bill renewing internet surveillance. In other words, the NSA has had its spying powers renewed for another 6 years. So for those of you who continue to think, for I have no idea why or how you could buy it at this point, especially people who claim to be awake and aware of the New World Order, they might be just as stupid as people who are sound asleep and not aware, that continue to think that Donald Trump is here to stop the New World Order. Yet he will be passing this bill to renew NSA spying powers. Now, they'll spin this, and this is how, people just go along with stuff like this, because the narrative is it's for our national security, right? These articles are talking about, interviewing some of these people, and I'll read it to you, but just pretty much to sum it up, are saying how so many American lives were saved thanks to the NSA spying on us, especially with overseas phone calls and things like that. And oh, by the way, we do track and pick up some information from Americans accidentally. I mean, really? Is anyone buying this? Big Brother has not only been spying on us for a long time, but the fact that our government continues to push this stuff along, and it's not mainstream on CNN, not front page, not on NBC, not on CBS, it's just quietly, oh, by the way, because that's how it works. They always do this quietly. The Patriot Act, right, quietly passed through, didn't make a huge deal about it. The U.S. Senate passed a bill to renew the National Security Agency's warrantless internet surveillance program for 6 years with minimal changes, overcoming objections from civil liberty advocates that it is undermining the privacy of Americans. The legislation, which easily passed the House of Representatives, is expected to be signed into law by President Trump today. Thursday's 65-34 passage in the Senate was largely a foregone conclusion after senators earlier this week cleared a 60-vote hurdle which split party lines and came within one vote of failing. Passage of the legislation marked a disappointing end to a years-long effort by a coalition of liberal Democrats and libertarian-leaning Republicans to redefine the scope of U.S. intelligence collection following the 2013 disclosures of classified surveillance secrets by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden. Now, look how they have to word that. You don't have to be a quote-unquote liberal or conservative. Remember, these are fake. The left and right is fake. To want privacy, why do you have to get put into a class and say, oh, the liberals want this taken away, huh? Shouldn't everybody want this taken away? Why would you want your government spying on you? I mean, listen, people are willingly giving this information up now. I mean, they're willingly showing everyone what they're doing around the clock, right? People are painting their nails and uploading it to Facebook. People are taking a crap and they're taking pictures of it and uploading it to Facebook. I mean, seriously, this stuff is happening. Somebody makes a bowl of cereal, they're filming themselves eating it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, this Instagram, right? Giving away their privacy, showing people, making it almost like they're celebrities themselves or wannabe celebrities, putting this stuff out there for everybody to see, but submitting your information to Facebook, submitting your information to Twitter, putting all this stuff out there for them to have, because that's really what it is. Facebook is, really a covert CIA operation. The bill reauthorizes what is known as Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which gathers information from foreigners overseas and this part is great, but incidentally collects an unknown amount of communication belonging to Americans. I mean, oops, right? You can watch, football, you can watch TV shows on your phone, in the woods, in the bathroom, in the shower. And you're telling me that, they're accidentally, because, they can't really control and monitor this stuff, they're just accidentally collecting the communications belonging to Americans, but they're doing it to really collect the information from foreigners overseas to protect us all. Give me a break. Under Section 702, the NSA is empowered to eavesdrop on vast amounts of digital communications via American companies like Facebook, Verizon Communications, and Alphabet Inc.'s Google. So no big deal. They're empowered and allowed to eavesdrop on you. And people this is the common response to say, I'm not doing anything. Right? All they're doing is sending pictures of their private parts to one another. Like, who cares? What's going to happen? Right? Because they're not talking about anything really of relevance. This is for people like us. We're trying to get the word out there. But they also use this stuff to blackmail people, right? Like mobsters would do. Because that's really what they are. The government really is a mob. It says, but the program also incidentally scoops up Americans' communications, including when they communicate with a foreign target living overseas. Intelligence analysts can then search those messages without a warrant. Oh, right. I'm sure they're not collecting any data between Americans and Americans and if they do, it's a complete accident. I mean, these people are just unbelievable. They lie, and nobody questions. That's how naive of a society we live in. The White House, U.S. intelligence agencies, and congressional Republican leaders said the program is indispensable to national security. Opponents of the program said it allows the NSA and other intelligence agencies to grab data belonging to Americans in a way that represents an affront to the U.S. Constitution. The bill passed by Congress does add a narrow warrant requirement for cases where the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, seeks emails related to an existing criminal investigation that has no relevance to national security. Privacy advocates said that essentially gives more protections to criminal suspects than ordinary Americans caught up in the program's surveillance. Now, this is where it's just laughable. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell urged his colleagues to back extending the program ahead of Thursday's vote, calling it one of the most important tools for national security officials. Quote, the men and women we trust to protect this country say this capability is essential to their missions. They tell us that it has saved American lives. That is why we cannot let this capability lapse. The world remains dangerous. End quote. Give me an absolute break. Right? Well, this is how we protect you from the boogeyman. This is how we're going to protect you from ISIS and protect you from, all these other things happening, right? Remember, all this stuff really got put in place after September 11th. Obviously, nobody ever looked at who really was responsible. But for those of us who are aware, obviously we know. But the Patriot Act, this stuff is just all pushed in quietly. These bills get pushed. You always have to look for this stuff and search for it, like what bills get passed, what laws get passed. Because they're going to get swept under the rug. They're not going to be the talking points. Hey, do we need this? Do we not? It's just, this is what's in your best interest. We're quietly going to pass it. We'll put out a few quiet articles about it, and there's nothing you could do about it. But this government is supposed to be set up for the people, right? Isn't that what the Constitution says? Our government's for us. They're working for us. I mean, talk about a mirage. Where are the people questioning this stuff? Where are the people going crazy over this stuff? Instead, they care more about Donald Trump tweets. They care more about what Rihanna's wearing, the name of Beyonce's children. I mean, all this ridiculous, pointless crap. And that's how this matrix works. They distract you with nothing but garbage. They pass these laws, these rules. They tell you, what's the big deal? We're not going to do anything to you. And even if we do, what are you going to do about it? Right? It's your word versus ours. No one's going to believe you over the government, this trusted government. Boy, the fluoride, the chemtrailing, all this stuff is not just dumbed down science, made it weak It's made people accept everything and just go, whatever, I don't care, I'm too tired, I'm too busy working 50 hours a week. And then they just get away with pushing this stuff. There is no reason whatsoever that they should have this power, that they should be able to spy on us and then go, well, it's to protect you, and, we're not really spying on you, but if you call someone overseas, we listen in, and, oh, by the way, some of your other messages or emails or phone calls might get filtered in to us, and, we can't really stop that from happening, huh? Oh, you can't? Really? Unbelievable. So this is passed, of course, and like I said, Donald Trump supporters who are, he's going to stop the New World Order. Oh, right. Looks to me like he's continuing to enable it, whether it's stuff with Israel, whether it's, pushing NSA crap, playing the role of the divider, right? Playing the role of the villain for this divide and conquer crap that we see going on, for this, the feminist movement. I mean, it's all just going on so rapidly right now, but these are things people need to know. Because these people who are supposedly elected, but selected and put in place, all Masons and members of secret societies, are supposed to be working for us. So shouldn't the people have a choice to vote in this? Oh, no, they don't, because we supposedly voted for these old dudes who are in office. And they're supposedly, if we voted for them, then we have to support whatever decision they make, right? But people just continue to think that they're free and they're making decisions themselves and the government's set up to protect them. And you don't get a say in the matter. But guess what? You don't actually vote these people into power. These secret societies, these Freemasons, these secret orders select who's going to be promoted to these positions. And it's based on a lot of things. Bloodlines, based on quote-unquote sacrifice, their ranking within the secret societies. Yeah, that's how they get put in these positions. Are they trustworthy? Do they have stuff on them? In case they do flip and turn and try to turn a good leaf or try to turn into a better person and call it out, that they can just slander their name through them. But of course, they have all that stuff on one another. You know why? Because they all practice the same stuff. They're involved in these rings. They're involved in these black magic rituals, these oaths they take. It's a complete and utter joke. But I'm going off on a little bit of a rant off topic. But again, here it is. Here's Trump. He's okay with it. Here, the only people apparently against it, according to these articles, are liberals. How about every citizen should be against it? There are no liberals. There are no Republicans. It's a joke, a complete and utter joke. I thank you for listening to today's show. Big Brother's watching, folks. God bless all of you and your families.